Hello everyone, and welcome to another Slay the Spire video. I'm Slime Rayleigh, and yesterday I uploaded a video. We were derusting with Watcher with Ascension 1. Didn't kill the heart, said I was going to do it in the next few characters. And we're going to be playing Ironclad today. Ironclad is a very interesting character. Every character has distinct characteristics that help them play a certain way, and they utilise the game's mechanics uniquely. The main one for Ironclad is he uses exhaust. He has lots of good synergies with block cards. Can generate block pretty easily through exhaust. He can scale his strength through things like Demon Form and using self-damaging cards like Rupture in combination with things like Bloodletting and many different ways which we'll go into, but for the most part it's exhaust, strength, energy, and that whole thing. So we start with Burning Blood, which is the Ironclad starting relic, which he will gain 6 HP at the end of every combat. That's 6 free HP that you can use for every fight, and that's with you for the entire run. So as always, we have a slime boss act, so you know, we like to check the map, see where all the enemies are. So these are enemy nodes that you can see highlighted. You clear these fights, you get a chance at a potion, you get some gold, you get a card reward. The types of cards are randomized, as well as what kinds of cards you'll get. So you'll either get power, skill, attack, or any one, a combination of those. At present, that's our starting deck. 5 strikes, 4 defense, and a bash. It will not beat the Act 1 boss in this stage, but at the same time, and it's not even going to beat the heart, right? And this is what this run is. So, well, what about all these other nodes on the map? Well, the key is there. So we have these mystery rooms. These are chances at events, and every time you go through an event room, you have another 10% chance at a fight. We don't really want these event rooms, especially in Act 1, because it's you're exchanging health for gold, or removing a card, or getting something else. So let's look at these bonuses. So we have remove a card, max HP plus 8, take 24 damage to remove 2, boss relics, swaps. We'll go into all that later on, but we just take the max HP here. First fight is Cultist. Takes the first turn to, buff himself, and then he'll continually scale his damage infinitely. So this fight is pretty straightforward. Again, utilising Burning Blood, we get the 6 HP that we just lost back. That's all good, and we end the fight pretty well. Good fight. We get some gold, and we get a card reward, and we have 3 options here. We have Power Strike, Disarm, and True Grit. All 3 are really good cards. Ideally, they all want to be upgraded. This is what we call upgrade debt. When you have all these cards that aren't quite good on their own, these are minus cards, and then when you get them, you want to upgrade them, and that's what we do with these campfires. So we'll go to this shop first. We did take a Disarm. We're going to remove, I believe we remove something. I think we do. We go with Anger because it's a 0 cost card that self-replicates itself, and Fire Breathing actually helps us with statuses. It will deal damage based on how many statuses we draw. We did take the Disarm. So slimes, they can inflict Frail and Weak. We want to get rid of Weak. Frail isn't so important, again, because we can just block the damage and it's fine. Should have really defended once and struck twice. I would have got the HP back. Oh well. Mistakes are going to be made, it's fine. Again, this is derusting, so do expect, mistakes to be made. Facing against slime boss, fire breathing and evolve pretty much take care of the fight. As with any elites that use statuses like Slavers in Act 2, the Reaper, Reptomancer, that sort of thing. But in these fights, basically, it's pretty much useless, because, you know, these lice, they don't use status. Well, they do, but they don't inflict, like, they don't put wounds into your deck, or dazes, or burns. So we use Anger here, it's fine. Get more gold, and I actually go with the Cleave here. Cleave is AoE, AoE is always good. I high rolled on that one. Got a Smooth Stone. This will give us an extra dexterity, so we're blocked for 6 now, which is really good. So we're going to Anger here after we defend. On High Ascension, these sentries actually attack for 10. But on Low Ascension, it's just 9, and it's pretty much good. Don't defeat the middle one on this fight first, actually, because the way that it works is that they will alternate between giving you statuses and attacking at the same time. So the 2 outer ones will attack first, or you know, it's outer, inner, like that, and they'll do this infinitely as you build up status. We get an instant spinner. Every 6th turn we become intangible, meaning we only take 1 damage. Really, really useful. We'll take a battle trance here. We're going to upgrade fire breathing. Yes, fire breathing. We want to maximize the damage output that we get from these statuses, because that's how we clear most of these elite fights. Is, you know, getting set up and then abusing those statuses. You know, they're not going to be useful in any other capacity other than helping us, you know, deal passive damage, and that's basically what it's all about. So these thieves, they'll actually steal gold, and if you don't kill them in time, they will actually run away, and it's pretty bad. So yeah, make sure you kill them. And I actually take Rampage here, I think. Yes, Rampage. Question card will get an extra card board now, which is really good, so we want to take fights now. I always go for Donut here if my HP isn't actually enough to get healed fully by the banana. So intangible here is really good. Just block, it's fine. Now we can kill one of these. I think they all attack on turn 1. Group of slimes, gremlin gang. These enemies might look intimidating, but they're pretty bad to see. So yeah, we really want to deal with it. One thing you're going to notice in Act 1 specifically is that the elites and a lot of the fights and the bosses, it's kind of a damage race. So in Gremlinob, you're dealing more damage against him. You're trying to kill him before he kills you, because he'll attack, then debuff, and that's how the fight goes. Lagavulin is, you know, he'll vulnerable you. Well, Gremlinob will vulnerable you after 2 turns, or he'll just straight up vulnerable you turn 1, and then he'll hit you for 24 every 3rd turn. If you play skills during that fight, he'll actually scale in strength. So you don't really want to play skills when you haven't fought Gremlinob yet. That's why I always take an attack, relatively damaging attack, on floor 1 in any run. Doesn't matter if I'm playing Defect, Watcher, Ironclad, Silent, whatever. If I see an attack and I'm on floor 1, take it, because more often than not we're fighting Gremlinob. Second wind could have been a consideration here, but I opted for the combustion and remove strike. Don't want strikes, they're useless, get rid of them. Remove strikes first on any character other than the Watcher. So this fight specifically. So Lagavulin will, when he's asleep like this, he wakes up after 3 turns, and we can actually put him into a stun state if we damage him, you know, when he's metallized him. So he'll actually attack us twice for 18. That's 20 on high ascension. And then he'll debuff us. He'll lower our strength and dexterity by 1, or by 2 at higher ascension. So we really, really want to kill him fast. This is what I mean when I say that these fights in Act 1, they're largely damage races. And I find that really interesting. So here he comes, here's the debuff, but we pretty much won. So thankfully we got through unscathed. Self-forming clay, every time we take damage, we gain 3 block. I can't actually remember what I took though. What did I take? Oh, armaments. Armaments is really good. It upgrades. Now that we've upgraded it, it's going to upgrade our entire hand, whereas before we select a card to upgrade. So fire breathing gets played. We'll pop the entropic brew first. So we'll do battle trance, and then, well, yeah, that was a misplay though on my part. Past Riley, what are you doing? The idea there was to play the, pop the brew, swap out the cards, then play battle trance and fire breathing. But whatever, it's fine. Armaments this, so just block, I think. I work for dexterity up here. We have the plated armor, so we should be okay. So the way this fight works is that he puts slimes into your deck, then he gets ready for a turn, and then he does the big attack. He splits at 70 HP, and you've basically got to try and get him down to as low as HP as possible, and then split him. And then, because he splits every time his HP gets below half. That's how the fight works, right? So he attacks every 3 turns. I always go for, well, depends. On low ascension, I like to target the blue slime, because it's always frail for blue slimes. But this fight is pretty much over anyway, because, fire breathing is broken. So we have many choices here. We had a Berserk, we had Offering, we had Brutality, and I think we had a Reaper. Offering is just objectively good. In any case, I would just choose it anyway. We don't have strength scaling yet, so Reaper is pretty much useless. We took Mark of Pain, because, we're trying to abuse the statuses. And our free energy is also nice. It's literally free energy. Just take it. I play the Evolve, Cleave, just play the attacks. This is Spheric Guardian, gets big block, he has Barricade. He'll do a multi-attack after this attack, so we really want to get set up before then. So there's a multi-attack. With the single attack he makes you frail, which means you block for less. So you block for 50% less with frail. It's basically like weaken. So weaken, you deal 50% less damage. Frail, you block 50% less damage. And vulnerable, you take 50% more damage. So those are the 3 main status debuffs that can be inflicted on you. And you can inflict those on enemies too, apart from frail, which I find annoying, but whatever. So we're intangible here. This is Avocado. Or his actual name is the Shelled Parasite, but the spy community calls him Avocado. Because look at him. He's gross and nobody likes him. On high ascension he actually hits you for 21, which is scary most of the time. Act 2, generally speaking, is the most difficult act in the entire game, because there's so many dangerous fights. And if you're not prepared enough, then you're going to struggle. We got a Heart of Iron, so we get 6 Metallized block. We'll take the Intimidate. It's really good. We'd definitely take this fight. It's easy. Well, with the deck like this, it's pretty easy anyway. So, debuff this guy. And then, you know, we'll play the Offering. Get more draw. I think he's just dead, right? Oh, he's dead next turn anyway. The only damage that we've been taking so far is self-inflicted ones from Combustion, which is pretty cool. And then Bear's pretty much dead next turn. And we're intangible, which is cool, but it doesn't matter because status, we get the red mask. Enemies have 1 week. Every combat, we did pick up a pair as well, so our max HP is pretty high. What else am I picking up? Abacus? No? Remove card? Okay, we'll remove a strike. And we also take nothing else, just the removal, that's fine. Decided I want to go for elites. I never take the Burning Elite in Act 2. It's usually Act 1 or 3. It's uncommon that I take it in Act 1 because I don't have the deck for it, right? So Act 3 is generally where I'll do it because it's built up enough. Evolve gets played, obviously, because we're dealing with Slavers. Slavers, the middle saber will put wounds into your deck, the left one will make you weak, and the one on the right will, this little debuff called Entangle, where you will stop you from attacking for a turn, which is really bad. It can also make you vulnerable. I'm not too sure what the statistics are on that one, but it sure is interesting. So, Offering gets played here. And as you're noticing, we're actually triggering Feel No Pain, which will give us block every time we exhaust a card. We're exhausting a lot of cards. We're getting a lot of block. One thing that I haven't mentioned yet is how we're using Offering. It's basically an acceleration item. So things that can help your deck do things that it wants to do faster, like, I don't know, Abacus for block scaling, or Sundial for energy every time you draw cards and shuffle your draw pile, or Offering. Get a Melter Neck here, it's really cool. Every attack now is upgraded for us, so we can just click them if we want them. So yeah, so Offering is a card that, you know, will accelerate the processes of our deck. It lets us get set up and everything, and that's what Offering does. Powers are typically utility cards in that they'll help you scale damage, like Inflame is doing here, like Fire Breathing is doing, or block, like Feel No Pain, or Metallicize, or, you know, or it'll help you protect yourself while you get set up, like Metallicize. Well, these relics are all doing different things, and they're all working with each other in different ways. And there are many cool interactions that I can't cover here because they're not relevant to this character. And you'll see those interactions in, I don't want it, but I eventually cover the silent and the defects. So there you go, 10% chance for a fight there. Centurion and the Mystic. Kill the Mystic first. Actually, don't do that. That's bad advice. Troll advice, don't do that. Kill the Centurion first, because when you kill the Mystic first, it'll actually just, you know, the Centurion will get a new attack pattern, and he'll hit you for 8 times 3 I think, which is not pleasant. So kill the Centurion first, and you can actually just loop the Mystic into healing and buffing for no reason this way. This is how you solve this fight, by the way. Act 2 also has Snecko, which we'll get into later on. I think we actually fight Snecko pretty early on. all of these all these hallway fights that you're seeing now in Act 2, these are typical run killers in any given Slay the Spire run. Even the top players have lost runs to this, so, you know, I'm not a top player. I have like 500 hours in this, but that's fine. I decide to lose the unupgraded Inflame here, purely for the full heal. We also don't need 2 Inflames. Here we go, Snecko. Immediate use of the armaments, followed by the Intimidate for, you know, 2 turns a week. So this debuff that he's given us now is Confusion. Confusion says to randomize our energy cost, which is obviously not good. There's 2 things that you can get Confusion from. The first one is Snecko. The second one is a boss relic, Snecko Eye. You take it and it randomizes your energy cost, like the Snecko does, but you get an added benefit of drawing 2 cards every turn. That is busted. And I could go on off a massive tangent about, you know, why it's so good. But, you know, I used it on Ascension 15 on one of my Watcher runs that I succeeded on to climb Ascension 20. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Would recommend giving it a go. Don't let the Confusion debuff put you off, right? That was my mistake going into this. Don't do that. Just, it's fine. You're drawing an extra 2 cards anyway, so it's an extra chance for, like, to get low cost cards. It's fine. So we actually recalled early, which I don't normally do. We're going to upgrade Offering here, so we draw 5 cards. Huge. I don't normally recall early, only if I think that the deck is good enough to actually defeat the heart, which I think pretty much it is now. Like, it's doing the things it needs to do. We're going places. So armaments, just keep armaments, it's fine. Bash should have been flamed first, but whatever. It's fine. All of these boss fights in Act... So this is one of 3 boss fights that you can have in Act 2. The slime boss was one of 3 boss fights you can have in Act 1. And I think we get the Awakened one in Act 3. Which obviously is one of 3 boss fights. And these are randomized between runs. So basically what's happening here, I'm setting myself up because I'm letting the wounds do all the damage, right? On all the fire breathings and stuff. Usually, if I had some sort of scaling power, I would just, you know, click it and win. The sort of semi-passive scaling that's currently happening is I'm trying to get Rampage to appear as soon as possible, so I can actually use it. The fight's pretty much done and dusted, right? And using the combination of Anger and Headbutt, we can actually duplicate the Angers, and now we have so many Angers, it's insane. The fight's done, Intangibles triggered, which is really good. And that's it, it's the fight. So we have a choice here. Fiendfire Plus offering Limit Break, Exhume. It's Exhume. We exhaust a lot of cards. A lot of them are good cards, so we want them back. Pandora's Box. Get rid of all those stats cards. But second Feel No Pain. Clothesline. We got a lot of good cards, right? It's a lot to go over. This video is nearly an hour long, by the way, so I'm sorry if I don't cover everything. Act 3. If your deck is doing well and it's doing all the things that you want it to do, then Act 3 is kind of your victory lap. And what I mean by that is you already know you're going to win at some point, right? It's just a matter of when, not if. So, you know, you can be pretty comfortable defeating all the enemies here, right? And that's essentially what it feels like sometimes when the deck is doing what you need it to do. But that doesn't mean you're going to win straight away, right? So this fight, you know, the shapes, as it were. So the red one actually buffs itself with a buff called Thorns, and it will keep scaling its damage that it deals. Actually, just go ahead and take the Dark Embrace here because it's already upgraded. We're exhausting cards anyway, so we want the draw. Perfect. Armaments. Obviously, we want to draw the cards, so we do the thing. I don't think we take damage here. Oh, we take a bit of damage. Oh no. Travesty. Offering everything, it's fine. Just play cards, it's fine. I was supposed to exhume the offering. What the hell? It's fine. Spot weakness is kind of a temporary scaling until we get something good, like a demon farm, but you know. This will do for now, actually. As long as we can keep recalling it every time that we use it, it's good. So Darklings kind of act like sentries in the two outer ones gain a unique property. You see it just now. They can do a multi-attack. Super not good. Very cringe. So yeah, you want to kill the outer ones first. The middle one can actually do the multi-attack, which is pretty interesting. I didn't know this when I first had this fight. I do now, and that's pretty cool. It's amazing what you know. 500. It's amazing what you learn 500 hours into a game that you played, right? Again, I'm not an expert. I still make stupid mistakes. You've seen it in this video. But I'm just going through what I know. And hopefully you can know too. Uppercut gets played because it's uppercut and it's awesome. Shockwave, really good card. 5 turns of vulnerable and 5 turns of weak is pretty good. So this Spire Growth is an enemy that exists. It'll actually give you a constrict debuff, so it'll do extra damage to you. So it cheats, essentially. Gonna shockwave you, and then play the offering. Play the Dark Embrace, armaments, then draw the cards. At this point, we're pretty much going. Our deck's doing what it needs to do. So, I should probably talk about the Awakened one actually. But, you know, the fight's almost over. The Awakened one is interesting because it's got the buff Curiosity, which in the first phase at least. Oh yeah, there's 2 phases to that fight. Did you know? So the first phase, he's not awakened. He's not woke up yet, and there's 2 cultists there that you can kill. Can we remove a card here? I think so. I think I remove. Oh, I duplicated the time. Never mind. More shape fights. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So in the first phase, the Awakened one isn't awake, right? And he has this. He has regeneration, and he has the he has the regen buff, and he has the he has the Curiosity buff, which means that every time you play a power, he's gaining strength, which super not cool, incredibly cringe, right? And this, a lot of these bosses will challenge the character that you're playing as in a very direct way, usually in a way that your deck isn't really capable of protecting itself against, right? And this is the case for characters that play a lot of powers, like sometimes Ironclad. A lot of the time it's Defect, because the Defect has a lot of powers that he can play to really get his deck going. Watcher sometimes. I think Silent as well, most of the time. But it's primarily Defect that struggles with Awaken 1. But again, it's relative, you know. Is my deck going to do well against this boss or that boss? It really depends on how you've been playing the game, right? How you've been building the deck. And if you're paying attention, using your brain, intelligent play, you're not just focusing on one archetype. Oh, I want to build a strength deck. I want to build a block deck. You're not doing that. You're just picking cards. That's all you're doing. It's as simple as that. So again, we come to the Reaper fight. This is another one of those elite fights that is, you know, it's kind of a damage race, but now you've got to deal with intangible every other turn. Not good. So he does a multi-attack, and he does a big attack, and he can also put burns into your deck. He puts 3 burns into your deck, 5 on High Ascension. This guy is a menace. He's killed many of my runs, and made me be very depressed about that. So yeah. So yeah, deck embrace is already in play. So we're exhausting cards, we're drawing new cards, which is really fun. Corruption would make us fly. Barricade would make us fly even further. Fortunately, we didn't get those in this run. Even though he's intangible, I'm still playing attacks just so I can get them out of the deck, out of the hand. And I'm primarily playing like, you know, anger, just so I can duplicate them. So I cause all the burns to like bottom deck. It's pretty fun. So the Evolve gets played, Clothesline, Anger. I haven't actually started damaging him yet, which is not good. We'll get there, don't worry. Decided to pop the elixir though, just so I could get rid of those cards. It's fine. And you see the problem with the Reaper, how he's just flooding the deck with burns. This kills any decks. This kills any deck of cards that are small in size, right? It's a bit of an inconvenience with big decks, but with smaller decks particularly, it's really, really bad. I don't think I need any cards, so I skip. It's okay to skip cards, actually. I should mention that at first, right? We'll take the metallicize, it's fine. If your deck's already doing well, you don't need to take more cards, right? Because it's just going to clog your deck. So you can skip them. It's okay to skip. Skip is an option. It's a valid option, especially on the Watcher. If you've seen that video, you know, go check it out. It's amazing. I think we go infinite in the middle of Act 2. It's insane. You actively skip cards because you don't want to make your deck too big that you can't remove all the junk. So that's what we do. Giant Head is interesting. You have 5 turns to essentially kill him, and then he starts hitting you with big attacks, and they go higher and higher and higher until you actually kill him. There's a misconception about this fight that the slow debuff that I'm currently proccing now with every card I'm playing, that only triggers for non-attacks. It triggers for all cards played. I'm not too sure where that myth came from, but you know. But I think the idea is that you build up the slow debuff percentage because it's percentage based, right? So he takes 10% more. He'll take 10% more damage for every card you play, and then you release it all in one burst. But you can build it up over time and do it that way. There's many ways to handle this fight. Aside from that, it's pretty easy. I didn't really get a chance to talk about a lot of the mechanics involved in that previous Watcher video, which is pretty depressing. But that's the fight. Eternal Feather. I think we just take the Rupture, because, you know, we've got Offering and we keep playing Offering, so just take it. And we have Combustion anyway, so just take the just take the Rupture. Just take the Rupture. Thank you. So we have Eternal Feather. We gain a set amount of HP depending on how many cards we have in the deck. I think it's 3 HP for every card we have. So we're currently getting a third of our HP back, which at the current max HP level that we've got, it's pretty huge. Another Reaper. Will they never go away? We will never know. I think this one is actually a pain in the ass. No? I don't know. Yeah. The headbutting the armaments after you've used it is a pretty common strategy, I think. At least I hope so. So we can just disarm. I think we bring back Offering. Yep. Because we still want to trigger Fire Breathing, by the way, so it's important to keep the wound. Which is really weird to say, given that we don't really like them that much, but we desperately need them, so, you know, we keep them. At least for this deck, anyway. Any other deck, you don't need them, right? Quick spot check on the map, it's fine. We haven't actually started killing him yet. We will do, don't worry. I'll never get tired of using Battle Trance. It's such a good card. Bit of low HP here. It's all good. If I had a Reaper, this wouldn't be an issue, right? But it is, so there you go. Horn Cleat is huge. I actually go for another Intimidate. Don't go for Demon Form at this stage. It's not worth it, actually. I go for the Fairy Ball just for safety, and I take the Flash of Steel as well because I wanted extra draw. I think I remove something. What do I remove? I remove something. I don't think I actually have to remove anything. Oh, the unupgraded Inflame. Yeah, we don't need that. So, we have all the keys now. Let's talk a bit about how you get those. As you've been seeing, I've been playing specific ways. I've been pathing specifically, and that's because of two things. One, the Burning Elite, which gives us the green key. I recalled early instead of resting or upgrading to get the red key, and we took the blue key instead of getting the War Paint because we need it. So using these keys we can open up the door to the final act, but we can actually kill the heart and get the true ending. This is not the first time I've gotten the true ending before, but it's the first time I've actually commentated over the fight, so it'll be interesting. I'm actually not sure what I'm going to say, to be honest, because I still don't understand the fight mechanically, but, you know, I just play it, and sometimes I win, sometimes I don't. Skill pot, really good. Nothing here. Skip. Okay, cool. Decided to go for Seeing Red Plus. And we healed there anyway. So, on Ascension 20, the Act 3 boss is a double boss. So, it's a 50-50 whether you get the one of the other bosses that you didn't get. Usually it's Time Eater. Don't like Time Eater for obvious reasons. Yeah. there's no way around it. You will need to play powers in this fight, especially when you're against Awakened one. So you just have to deal with it. It's unfortunate, but it's true. But we have enough disarms to actually, you know, exhume the Seeing Red. Disarm straight away, because of course. Why did I play the Rupture though? I have no idea. Oh, I know why. Yeah, I don't know. It's fine. The way we're generating block now, we do not need to worry about the Awakened one's attacks. It's that cut and dry, it's insane. Shockwave here, spot weakness, and then offering to get some of energy back, and then we debuff you again. Just because you run out of energy doesn't mean that your turn is over, especially if you still have 0 cost cards that you can play. Just play them. Sometimes you'll get lucky, sometimes you won't, but otherwise, it's good. This fight's entering the second phase now. If you have a Dark Shackles, now would be a good time to save it, because you can actually give him a permanent strength debuff before this, you know, phase ends. I think you can still do it when he's about to wake up, but I'm not sure on that one. I have to double check. Okay. I think we've got the fight done anyway now. So it's just a case of doing all the damage. And that's the fight. On to Act 4. Act 4 is the most difficult challenge that you'll probably ever face. The hardest elite fight. The hardest fight. It's a challenge, and you don't heal between those fights, so you better make sure you preserve HP as best you can. So, we only have a rest site, a shop, and then the elite fight. Get the Eternal for the proc. I actually decided to upgrade Disarm here. Not sure how good that's going to be. We'll see. Contemplate here on Brimstone. I ultimately decided not to take it. Just go for the Strawberry for that nice even HP number. I mean, it doesn't really matter what you spend your gold on at this point. There's literally nothing else we can add to the deck to make it better. It literally is the best possible deck that we can make at this point. And look how far we've come, right? At the start of this run, we had a stealth deck of Strikes, Defend, and a Bash. Not even good enough to defeat the Act 1 boss. Now look at us, we're about to challenge the Heart. This is it. This is the true victory lap. Assuming everything is in play. You still have to win, but for the most part, you're there. So, this fight is interesting. Shield, Spire Shield on the left, Spire Spear on the right. One does multi-attacks, the other does big attacks, and gives you a strength debuff every turn. You have this debuff on you. I believe it's called... I am not sure what it's called actually. It's... basically your back is constantly turned to one or the other enemy. You could damage them both with multi-attacks, with you know, AoE, but you generally want to be facing the one that's attacking you. In the case of this one, it's... yeah. So we get back attack, so when you take more... it's like a vulnerable debuff, right? With this front and back attack thing. You take more damage when your back's turned. Luckily, this fight was pretty cut and dry. Pretty much done at this point. A formality. You can also put burns into your deck, by the way, so be careful on that one. The fight's almost over. Okay, we get Birdface Stone and a Power Potion. Birdface Stone is going to heal us for some HP every time we use a power, and we take another Metallicize. This fight is long. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to pop the Power Potion, and we're going to play Dark Embrace. This, coupled with the one that we've got, is going to draw us 2 cards every time we exhaust. It's very important that we have that, because we need to draw through the statuses that he will put in the deck. Offering is played. We play Feel No Pain. This is a very specific order, right? Intimidate, Armaments, Blood for Blood, Combustion. We picked up a Blood for Blood from P-Box, I didn't even talk about it. Basically, every time you take damage, it loses so your cost is reduced by 1, essentially, that's all it is. Play the Seeing Red, play the Rupture, just play everything that can be played, right? Metallicize, Exhume the Offering. That's a void, can't do anything about it, don't worry about it, just play the Offering. As we're playing the Offerings and taking damage from Combustion, we're scaling our strength. So we'll play Disarm, and then we will Fire Breathe. We heal, we'll take a Flash of Steel, and then we'll end turn. That's good enough. So the hat has 2 really dangerous attacks. The first one is a huge attack that deals progressively more damage. The other one is a multi-attack, which is really dangerous. This is where all of your knowledge of the game comes into play. This is the fight that is testing you, and you really need to be paying attention at this point. You'll notice I'm taking 1 damage every time I'm playing cards. That's because the Corrupt Heart has a buff. It's called Beat of Death. Every time you play a card, you take 1 damage. On High Ascension, it's 2 damage. So you need to be constantly scaling block at the same pace that he's scaling his attacks. And that's all there is to it. I absolutely love the music to this fight. My first Spire clear with a heart kill came from the Watcher, and I actually went infinite in that fight, which is the first time I've ever done something like that before. I had help from somebody else, but for the most part I enjoyed everything I did about it. Needs to keep generating block, by the way, don't forget that, crucial. And you'll notice that we don't really care about his attacks because our HP is so huge, right? Dun dun bum 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 bum. Sorry, the music is really good. Yeah, that's also another point as well. Don't play cards that are useless at the current moment. So don't play something like a spot weakness when he's not attacking very clearly. You don't need to do that, right? If you're going for a hat kill, never take Runic Dome, because you need to see what the hat is doing if you're not familiar with his attack patterns. It's very important that you have this. I think that's the fight now anyway. Pretty sure, right? Yes, there we go. Wow. That was good. Well done. And that was how we beat the Hearts with the Ironclad. When we get a nice epilogue art. And that's actually amazing. I really enjoyed this run. It was a blast to play. It was a blast to commentate over. I have a larger Slay the Spire project that I'm working on. I intend to use all 4 characters as reference, so it might be a long one. Yeah, at the end you get a score. You judge based on your performance, so you know, cards taken, that sort of thing, and it's pretty good. Commentating these, decided to commentate in these runs, or these any of my gameplay videos that you've seen, because you know I do like DMC and combo videos and Resident Evil guides and these videos. I was incredibly nervous when I first started this channel. Very incredibly nervous. Because I wasn't sure in myself if people would actually like the content that I put out. If people would actually like my voice when I started doing the commentating. If people actually like the style of video that I do. It's very nervous, very difficult. And I enjoyed it, right? When I first started, you know, getting noticed, because I'm at 51 subscribers right now. When I started this like a couple of like a year ago, I didn't think that I would get that people would actually care about my content in that way. Because I was just doing dumb shit on YouTube, right? But for people to actually like my content enough to give me 2,100 views on a random Devil May Cry combat video that I did, just putting together silly little combos, and then people like it enough to subscribe. That's insane. And then these videos, constantly getting comments on them, getting likes, getting views. I enjoy doing this now. I didn't at first. I do now. But that's just, you know, bleh, feelings, So, that was Ironclad. Watcher was done late last night. Uploaded like hours ago. Not hours ago. Probably late evening yesterday. This is probably going to go up a day or two after. I'm currently still working on Silent, and then I'll start Defect. Defect is the only character that I actually struggle with, if I'm being honest, because there's different mechanics to him that I'm struggling to understand, and you'll understand why when we get to it, right? But for the most part, yeah, that is it. I want to do more videos like this, where it's these huge videos and I'm doing, you know, huge analysis, and you know, and I need the hardware for it. I'll get it eventually, but this will have to do for now. This is the best that I can do for now, and I just hope that's enough, right? My aim, so 2023 is almost over. I do intend on getting these individual character videos out, you know. We've done Watcher, we've done Ironclad. Silent and Defects are up next. Let's see, we're... Ow. Had to stretch my phone though. We are 27 days away from the end of the year. I want to put together a long analysis deep dive video into Slay Spire in its mechanics, how it plays, using all 4 characters. I don't think I'm gonna get the video released until after the new year, but I want to put it together, like get all the content together for it before then. Probably get the script done as well. The script might be after the new year though. And then, actually, I don't even think I want a script, to be honest. I don't like talking from scripts. It's too rigid. But yeah, that's my plan. My aim for the new year is to get every character to Ascension 20 with a heart kill on Ascension 20. Hopefully I can do that. We'll see. Thank you everybody so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please like, comment, subscribe, do all the good stuff. Share it around. Follow me on Twitter at @TheSlimeRiley. Follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/SlimeRiley. Follow me on YouTube on here. And yeah, and that's it. I will see you in a couple of days, maybe. I want to get back to streaming again, so I'll be on Twitch on Friday, I think. What day is it today? It's Monday today. I might go live tomorrow. We'll see. Anyway, see you later. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.